Okay, so I think this is working now. So let's see. So I'm going to display and show some of the projects that I'm working on. So if we go over here to the task scheduler, I have this scheduled task that kicks off basically every Sunday, and it launches this stock notification, which does a put stock.exe. So if we open up this location, this is under my PyCharm project, so let's get this up. So we run a stock notification, and it runs this putstock.py. So let's open this up. So putstock.py calls this program QQQ scraper. It's a class that I made. And basically it's super simple. All this putstock does is define the DynamoDB resource that I want, uh, tells it what table I want to put this in, and then it calls this QQQ scraper, and all QQQ scraper does is exput or output a payload, and then this script puts that payload into the repository, and all this does is say put stock succeeded. So let's go to QQQ scraper. So QQQ scraper has three functions. The first function is just an init. It defines the output.csv file that we want, and then there's a this get CSV function. So this goes out to the Investico URL and downloads the CSV file for QQQ. We open up this CSV file and we basically scrape what lines we want. And this organizes it and just puts it into nice little rows and splits it with a comma. Here when we create the payload, we actually go and we parse this CSV file. So we go, this is a pandas function here, so we go to pandas, we read the CSV file, and we do a data frame to JSON. We orient it a certain way, and then here we get the tickers and the percentages that we want for our index. So we go through here, we scrape the CSV file, and we get, the stocks index that we want, and then we get the percentages that we want, and we reweight them, do sons, and then we get a date. So this is just a date time function. So we look up today's date, we get the date and the year for today, and then we store this in today's date. And then we go back through here and we put these stocks are in a nice little um, array. I think in Python this is officially called a list. So we put them in neat little lists, and we loop through them with the percentages and the dates, and we create um, a payload, and this is these curly brackets are this is a set. Or no, this is a key value pair. So we create a key value pair payload, and basically this prepares it for our import into the DynamoDB table. So all this does is return the payload, and now we have a nice, neat little payload that's ready to get imported to DynamoDB. So if we go in here to put stock, we return our payload, and we put our payload into the put stock list. And when we do the put stock, we put it into, so they calls this function the put payload, and we get our payload and our DynamoDB. We instantiate our DynamoDB, and it puts it in here. So let's go over to my DynamoDB and see what this actually does. So let's go to aws.com, sign into my console. This is pretty cool. All right, multi-factor code. Let's get this up and running. Let's go to auth. All right, cool. So here is my console. Let's go to DynamoDB. my table. So I have my NASDAQ 10 table that's active. And if we open this up, I've been putting these nice little key value pairs in every Sunday. So if we open one of these up, we see that there's the date key value pair. So this is for the 3rd of January. And then here's the stock allocation. So we have Apple, Adobe, Amazon. And this is all coming from that Python script that I have that's running off of the task schedule. So I wanted to trade this, and I was like, okay, I have these nice, neat little tables and all these stock allocations. I want to be able to pull this from my DynamoDB and actually trade it. So I use this little website called quantconnect, and I was trying to figure out on quantconnect how can I pull my NASDAQ 10 index and get it working. So what I realized is that quantconnect can pull a CSV file from GitHub. So actually here I go and I've defined my GitHub URL with the CSV, and it pulls this CSV file, gets the allocations, and actually trades it. So if we go here and we view this live, here's my NASDAQ 10 index that I've actually been live trading. Now, this isn't with real money yet, but if I wanted to, I could absolutely use real money for this, and it's very easy to switch over. So let's go and look at the logic behind putting my DynamoDB table into the GitHub repository CSV. So let's go back to the source main py. Okay. So if I open up this GitHub, I should go and see that's an invalid request. If I open this up, I'll download the CSV file, the raw CSV, which is fine. We can see here that it has the stock names, the tickers, and the allocation, and it's aligned based on its position within the array. So Microsoft is this, and PayPal is this, and Netflix is this, to keep things organized. So they're linked by element within each list. So let's see, let's go back to our logic, and I'm running this. Also in another task scheduler is my stock.update GitHub. So what this does is this goes and pulls my DynamoDB table that's on AWS, pulls that, puts the contents of that date into a CSV file that my program here through quantconnect can read. So if we open this up here, we'll have a git stock put CSV quantconnect, and I believe this dot, yeah, okay, so put CSV distribution dot git stock, okay. So let's go back here to PyCharm projects. Here's my quantconnect put stock, or get stock. You get stock from the DynamoDB table, and then you're putting it into the GitHub repository. So here what I have is, once again, I define my DynamoDB table, and then I need to get the payload from DynamoDB. So let's see, I haven't seen this code in a while, but yeah, so this, I know this right here defines my GitHub, and then I define the repo, which is my Yoast28, that's my user profile and CSV files. And then I get the contents of nasdaq.csv, boo boo boo, repo update, and I do an update commit to the branch main. Let's see here, try. Yeah, so do I have an exception here? So I try to get a response from my table, and if I can't connect, then I just exit out. But yeah, so for key value and stock list items, I append the key list and then the value list. So let's see, for element key values, I forget what I defined as this key value pair list. I think it's just the stocks and the percentages. Yeah, so keys, stock list dot items, stock list. So get stock today's date. Yeah, okay. So this queues, so this pulls get stock. This opens up my DynamoDB table, looks for the date, and then once it gets the date, it gets the key value pair and stores it here in stock. So if I have stock, so if I have an existing key pair list, I say, oh, you have a successful key pair value list, and then here we basically sort through it, and we create a key list and a value list. The key in this case is going to be the ticker of the stock. The value is going to be the allocation that we want in our portfolio for the stock. So then we create this key string. So this is going to be the string of stock tickers that we have, and then a value string, which is the allocations. All these allocations should equal 100%. And then we're going to find the repo that we want to commit to. So we want to commit to the CSV files, and we're going to commit this NASDAQ 10.csv, and we're going to update that commit file with our key value pair list. And we can see here the CSV text, this is what we're committing, but CSV text is just the key strings with the value strings separated by this new line. So if we go here and we go to my GitHub, we should be able to see all of these successful commits that I've had. So CSV files, if we go to NASDAQ 10, we saw that there was an update commit yesterday. And it has the stock list and the allocations. So Microsoft is this, which is like 17%, PayPal is 4%, Netflix is 3%, yada, yada, yada. If we go back and we look at my main, we can see that it has been updating now for about a month every Sunday. And I wonder if we can go and see the change log from here. So we have 47 commits, and we can see all of these are the same commits to the same, yeah, so we can see a change. Here's Microsoft, this change. So it looks like these stock allocations changed, or these stock allocations didn't change, but the allocations did. So we can see Microsoft went from 18.6% to 18.4. You know, PayPal changed a little bit. All these looks like they just changed slightly. So this is super cool. I'm really happy with this. I have all this runs automatically. So the task scheduler kicks off. It updates my GitHub repository, and then this NASDAQ CSV goes and reads the CSV allocations from my GitHub. See if we go back to the main here, we can see, okay, it's reading this raw. And this kicks off every Monday. So I have it scheduled to run every Monday. And all it does is just get the stock list, allocation list from get.csv. That's what this function does right here. It just returns the stock list and the percentage list and buys them. So all this is completely automated. I don't have to touch anything. And I could trade this live if I wanted to. So super cool. Took a lot of work, but I'm really happy with it. I like the fact that I can trade stocks that I'd like to trade, and I don't have to do anything. It's just plug and play. So super cool. Thanks for listening to this. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or text me. Thanks. Bye.